sorry guys. But you can see, you can just, so these are vertical pages, and we're only using one file to make those. We could make journal cards. These could also make, you know, pockets, flips. They could make a booklet. Possibilities are endless. Please look, if you're wanting ideas on how to use the different size pages, look for other tutorials on our channel. You could also do this is called a 3x3. These are ACO size, very close. Not exact, but they're very close to this. So many things to make with something like this. And then we have another size, which would be, oh, the 4x4, the famous 4x4. Definitely a really great tutorial about how to use this type of page, but we're just creating this automatically with our PDF and how we choose to print it. Doing nothing fancy with any other design skills. And you can do this with any digital PDF file. So especially if there was, you can imagine if your paper project had things like different images, like they would create really fun little journals, journal pages. This will also create paper clips, tons of things you can do with this size. This again, I love this size in particular for making paper clips. You can see how easily this makes a page of hidden paper clips. It's made solely by how I arrange the papers in that PDF to print. Again, here's another size, this one here. This one's a 4x5, and these make paper clips or they make belly bands. Tons of things to make with that. So if that sounds like fun to you, please stay tuned and join me. I'll see you soon. Before we start to dive in, if you haven't already, make sure to download and install the free version of Adobe Acrobat. There's a trial version you can get, or you can download the free version of the Adobe Acrobat Reader. I'm sorry I can't help with the download issues and stuff to your device. It's just too complicated for me to address. I wouldn't even know where to begin with each individual device. So make sure that you have one of those two programs installed and open, and then open any PDF file that you want to work with for this tutorial. I am going to start with opening up a paper pack that comes with the Paris 1924 collection, and this one is the crochet and lace. What I've done, I'll just kind of scroll through it while I talk for just a second. You can see it's really elegant and beautiful, has a lot of rose lace on it and some crochet items and some wallpaper. They're fairly neutral backgrounds. Okay, but what I've done is I've opened this up, and unfortunately I opened up the A4 version, and my paper is just only 8.5 by 11. So what to do in that case? Because I think that happens quite a bit. Sometimes we're intimidated to buy from someone over in the UK when we're in the US because the sizes are different. And then same thing on in the other way around is that sometimes Americans, or really they only offer just the 8.5 by 11 size, and so this is something where you can, it doesn't matter which one, to get it to fit your paper. I'm going to show you how to work with that. But before I do, I just really want to mention that you wouldn't even have to worry about that when you buy paper from Wild Rose Bohemian, because we include both on the digital paper, the A4 and the US sizes. So make sure if you're using one of our kits, you open up the appropriate size, and then you don't have to worry about this portion of it. But let's say that happens. So what you do is you come over here and you go to print. So you can go here, or you can choose print here. Up here, see this? So you can go to print and it opens up the dialog box. This is the print dialog box. And the settings will be, let's see, first thing you're going to do is go ahead and check and make sure that your printer is the one that's selected here. It's probably the very most important thing you could do in this part of things, because you could set things up, and if you don't have it sent to print from your printer and you have it set on something else, you'll be frustrated that your printer is not printing. So click on Properties, and it pulls up. This is actually part of the dialog from my Epson printer. I'm printing with an Epson 2800, and the type of printer you have isn't important for this tutorial, but I am showing you that this dialog box may look a little bit different than yours because this is particular to my printer. But I'm going to choose the document size here. I'm going to choose Portrait, and I'm printing here on plain white paper, but there's lots of choices for me to choose. And let me just talk about that really briefly for you. So when I want something that's color that's really going to pop, I'm going to choose this premium presentation matte paper, and then I am actually going to use the Epson, let's see, what is it called? Epson matte presentation paper. Put a link in the description box below, but it's what I use when I want something to pop with color. Probably like fussy cuts, and if it's a really vibrant kit, I will definitely use that for my pages. But if it's a shabby chic kit or a kit that is a grunge kit, I probably will not use that type of paper. I'll probably use more like something like just the plain paper. And let's see, if I'm printing photos, I'll probably use the paper, the photo paper, and I probably will do like the semi-gloss. These settings are actually really important because your printer is going off kind of the height of the paper, and it really adjusts some of the settings more particular to that. So then I'm also going to choose high quality because I'm going to actually wanting the color to come through. I might not do that on a grunge or something like that because it would be okay for me to use the reduced PDF that we include in our files, and then choose here a different quality, like I don't know, even a draft. You can fool with that a little bit because some of those ones where you're going to grunge it up anyway, it's okay to save a little bit of ink. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is probably hit OK. Leave the other settings alone there. But then what I need to do is click this box Fit. Okay, and when I do that, what it does is it automatically checks the right orientation here. But when I hit Fit, what it's doing is it's taking the information from the file, and you can see that it doesn't quite meet the edges here, but at least it's going to be able to fit onto my printer, and that's how you would print if you had an A4 to a US size. And then and I'll show you very quickly what happens. I'm going to close this A4 size up, and then this is a US size. So if I need to print a US size but I have A4 paper, what you'll do again is you'll hit the print dialog, and this comes up. You set your printer to the right thing, you go to your properties, and up here you're going to click A4 instead because that's the size of the paper that you have. Okay, and all of these other settings we just talked about, and then you'll hit OK. And then again, what you're going to do is you're going to hit this size button right here, and you're going to say Fit. So again, what's going to happen is the US size is just a little bit shorter, and so it'll fit it into your A4 paper size, and you'll have some excess on either side. That's how you treat the situation when the papers don't match. Okay, so what next? I have gone ahead and I just wanted to show you very quickly. These are the print settings that I have. I've prepared a PDF for you so that it has the settings of what you need for printing all of the different sizes. So the first thing we're going to do actually is we're going to work with this here, the 1x2. And you can see that what happens is this is when we want to print a vertical paper that we've purchased. And we want to print that whole page, but we want two of the pages, say page 1 and page 2, and we want it to basically form a page that has 2 pages. There's a lot of things that you could do with that. All of a sudden it becomes a journal page. And let's see, let's do that with this paper. This paper is another favorite of mine, and it's from the Belle Blooms kit. Oh my gosh, actually it's probably, I don't know, I just really love this particular paper. Okay, so what you do is you hit the menu button, print. Again, you can use a print button here, but we're going to want to be printing now 2x1. So you've made sure that your printer is selected, you've checked those properties here. I'm going to make sure that I change this back to the US letter size and that I have the other things checked here. I'm probably going to use plain paper on this because it is a little bit grungy and I'm wanting a more muted tone anyway. Still high quality. And then what you're going to do is come over here and you're going to go to multiple, and then you're going to click on this and you can choose 2. And what happens is that when you're in the portrait orientation here and you have this auto rotate pages within each sheet, you can see how this makes a difference. If you don't do that, the pages line up differently, and you might want to do that for some reason, but in this case I don't, because I want them side by one on top of each other. Like I said, this will make like a booklet, it'll make journal pages. I've used it to make journals, and it's really cool because you can print them double-sided, and you do that from a vertical page. So that's the settings for that. That would be if I want to print 30 pages. See here, it gives me 15 pages down here. So if I just want to select some of them, let's say I only want to print 10, then I use 1-10 and that'll print the first 10 pages. And then you can see here, let's see. Yeah, this was important too. I should mention the horizontal. Again, that sheet I showed you has those specific settings, so follow them in particular. There is a download for that PDF, and that link is in the description box below. Okay, so it is printing 5 pages, and you always want to check that, but that's how it would work. Okay, let's move on. Let's say we want to create from that, we want to create some journal cards. And what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and maybe we have something more particular. Let me show you. If we do something more like, let's do fussy cuts, okay? So this is quite a few different fussy cuts, and some of the reasons you might want to use fussy cuts that way, I think that if I get the biggest size here, yeah, this one would, and what I want to do is maybe make some photo clusters, or I want something that's a smaller size. So what I do is I open up the page that I would like. You can choose pages. Again, it's menu and it's print. And then what you're going to do, you can see right now it's all 4 pages where they'd be pretty small with the settings that are here. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to want to choose 2 pages. I'm going to choose page 1 and page 2. And to choose just page 1 and page 2, you put the page number and then a comma and then the next page number that you want. I'm choosing 2 pages. And actually, no, on this I'm going to have to do 4 pages because there's going to be 4 spots. 4 pages, and then hit multiple again, make sure that custom is here, and you're going to choose 4. And that's what happens when it populates there, is you're going to get 4 of these, and you can see where all of a sudden the fussy cuts are a different size. And this is kind of important because it's a great tool to leverage the size of your fussy cut or something else that you're printing if you want different sizes. Not all designers offer that many sizes. Okay, these are the other settings, and again, this is 2x2, so you can look at the settings for the 2x2 and more in depth. You'll do that and you'll hit print. Let me show you really quick what happens when you use a paper and you use the same settings, what it looks like. So you hit print, and again, I think we're going to choose 4 pages because that's what's on the number of the page. So let's see, I'm going to say 2, 4, 5, 6, let's see, 5. You have to make sure there's a comma in there when you're choosing individual ones. And then what you're going to do is you're going to hit multiple, and you're going to hit 4. There you go. You got 4 journal pages. These are great too if you wanted to make a smaller journal and have 2 pages per page. I use it a lot for flips. I make pockets. I've made stacking pockets. And if there isn't a tutorial on, I think depending on when you watch this video, there'll either be a video on how to use the 2x2s or one coming shortly. Okay, so another size that we might use happens to be, I really love the ATC ACO size. So for that one, we're going to go ahead and make sure that all these same settings that we talked about before are in place. And you're going to come down and you're going to hit here 9. Okay, and what we have to do is make sure that the pages per sheet 9 matches the number of pages we have selected. So what we can do is, if I just delete that, I would say, we could say 1 through 9. That's what the dash means. So print pages 1 through 9, please. And then we're going to check the page order is horizontal, and what you can see is portrait and auto rotate pages. So this here, all of a sudden now we've printed and populated up the ATC. They're pretty close to ATC ACO size. I love these for like putting photos on, like a photo mat, or making another notepad. I've done folded flips. There's a lot of things you can do with the ATC size, and look for a tutorial on that there. But that's how you would populate and print that up. I want you to know what happens here if we undo this. It changes the orientation, and there are times when you might want this, but this is an important button to kind of have pushed over here. And the other thing you want to note is that, so there's 9 pages, and that equals 1 page. So you always want to check and make sure that you're not printing excess, because if you, let's say, just print 1 through 20 instead, when you do that, let's see, when you do that, what happens is all of a sudden down here, page 1 of 3, okay, and so over here is page 1, and then this is page 2, and then here's page 3. And so notice how you have a page that is just a partial page. Really don't love that because it wastes paper, and at least I don't like it. So you see, you want to make sure that these numbers, even if you do 2 pages, want to match in the multiples of that. So you could say 9 pages per sheet, but instead you're going to do 1 through 18. And if you do that, then what happens is you should get 2 pages, 1 of 2. So you get 1 and then 2, and there's no third one that's printing on something else. Okay, so here's something else to look and see. Here's another one you could do, which is another size. And this doesn't just have to be with like digital paper that is like not got images on it. Let me see. Like if you had some of the paper that has more of like a landscape or a picture of a woman or some kind of picture that isn't like a blank page. This is where these are really nice, is in the journal size, or this is the when you want 6 per sheet. So you're kind of getting the idea here of how things are working as far as the way that you change things here. Mostly you're changing the pages per sheet. And this one here prints up a 4x4, which I totally love the 4x4. And again, since there's 16, we're going to need to change this one through 16 and make sure that it changes down here too. So it's just 1 of 1. And you'd go ahead and then you'd hit print. Okay, same thing if you're doing, let's do some custom ones, because these 4x4s, if you haven't played with them, I've got a great tutorial that's up right now that makes about 12 different types of ephemera from one page. And this would be like if you buy a paper pack and you absolutely love the paper pack, but it doesn't have a lot of ephemera that goes with it. This is a great way to utilize that just from the paper pack. So you could print the 16 pages here. But what if we want to do a different size? What happens if we do custom 4x5? Oops, don't ever hit, when you press enter, it triggers the print button. I should have said that. The minute you press enter, when you're entering this, it starts to trigger the actual printing. You can see what this does, 4x5, is it makes these columns here. And these are really great for like paper clips or like belly bands. So many uses here with them close together and then in strips. If you've ever made the snippets, I've done this and then made snippets, used it as a collage base to make snippets. Okay, another thing we can do is what happens if we change this from portrait to landscape. So all of a sudden, not a lot here, but changing some of these settings here makes it totally different. So it's still 4x5, and what happens is now we're perfectly set up for paper clips, hidden paper clips. This makes a page of paper clips. And I actually prefer those in a 4x6. So 4x6 does paper clips really nicely. Let's see. See that? Just page of hidden paper clips, pretty awesome. It could also be labels, definitely used for labels or for sentiments. The possibilities are endless here, guys, really endless. I don't want to say a lot more. It's been more time than I really wanted to talk about this. Please note, I'm going to put up the printable, the PDF that has the actual settings that you can print off if you want to use. And yeah, I hope this really inspires your creativity and the way that you use the digital files, because it can really like multiply what your digital stash is already. And if you've enjoyed this video. I hope that you will like and subscribe. Thanks so much for joining me. Okay.